Straight people of Reddit, what's the gayest thing you've done? Was 12 years old or so at my friend Ty's house. He was maybe 10, offered me $20 to make a X with our wieners. Needless to say, later that day I bought myself 2 12-packs of soda and some bags of chips. X-Men origin story. Me and my friends one night got really drunk and started streaking around where we live, very small area. Got so mad lad we started hand-shaking each other's dicks. How do you do? We would say. Love the lads with all my heart. Time will be measured as before and after this comment. Had to hold my buddy's hand while the doctor played hand puppet with his prostate. You're a good friend. Me and my best bud, at the time, accidentally interlocked our ass cheeks in bed together. Accidentally. Identically. I had a sleepover at my friend's house when I was 13, and we laid out some blankets and fell asleep in his living room. I woke up first to him spooning me, and I didn't move at all because I wanted to avoid any awkward moment in our friendship by having us both know of that cuddle moment, so I laid there as still as I could for maybe 30 minutes until he woke up and quickly but carefully got off of me. I then got up 10 minutes later, and that moment now doesn't exist in our friendship. This is great because you both know, but only you know that both of you know. His friend's going to come across his comment and slowly move his hand towards his agape mouth. Honey, you knew? Well, I had a comfortably but not publicly out gay kid convince me that the best way to practice having sex with a girl, we were 13 at the time, was to practice humping each other. I had zero idea that was an issue and we dry humped for an hour or so. I just had a flashback to my childhood. I remember I had a sleepover, around 13 years old, at a friend's house. We played soccer together and there were other girls there, too. I remember we all slept in the attic, which was a really cool hangout place, and we had air mattresses and sleeping bags. I was sleeping in a sleeping bag and I remember waking up to my friend. She somehow convinced me to practice kissing so we'd be prepared for boys. And I recall her climbing on top of me and making out hard, and she was grinding just as hard. It was not unpleasant and I have no idea if anyone realized what we were doing. Your story reminded me of the buried memory. We never made out again. When I was about 10, my friend and I decided to practice kissing. Our parents were all doctors, so we had some vague sense of being safe and needing protection. Therefore, we decided to be responsible and keep a sheet of plastic cling film between our mouths when making out. Somehow I managed to give the world 3 gay sons. One of my gay friends from HS found out and asked, WTF man, you got glitter in your spunk? Do you? This is the most important question in my life right now. Right? I once knew a girl who every time she threw up, it was pink with glitter. Like what you been eating, girl? Wait, what was she eating though? Do we think it was this dude's cum? My best friend is gay. He got kicked out of his family when they found out, took his car, money, and threw him out. So, I had an empty room and let him stay with me and get him a job. But, there would be times he would just come to my room while bawling. There were nights when we spooned until he passed out. Nothing ever happened more than that. He just needed to be held and to know he's loved. You're a really good friend. Nothing, I've said no homo before doing anything with other men. My buddy recently forgot to say no homo after a wild anal session. It wasn't the first time as well, and I'm beginning to suspect he actually might be gay. Does this make me gay as well? Because I explicitly said no homo. If you said no homo, you are good. A coworker made a pass at my GF at a social event. He said it's a free country and tried to shake hands, so I pretended I was cool and gave him a bro hug but didn't let go. When he looked at me puzzled, I inched my face close to his and romantically closed my eyes like going in for a kiss. When he pushed me off, he was disgusted and said WTF. I told him that's exactly how she felt. Stay the duck away from us. This was in the early days of my college career when I'd go see my friends at another college. After partying during the day night, 4 of us would pile into a single double bed and spoon. A few times one of us would call out spoon change to signal it was time for us all to turn over and face the opposite direction. Edit. Username checks out, I get it lol. Shared a pillow and sleeping bag with another guy. I'm 6'3 plus 200 pounds and he was 6'1 180 pounds, so it was a tight squeeze, but it was 45°C and we were in a cabin without heat, so it was worth it. Edit. to answer some common questions. We were in Northern Ontario, Canada. When we went to bed, we were back to back. When we woke up, I was the little spoon. No, we weren't wearing socks. No, I don't think survival is gay, but this is the gayest thing I've personnel done. Yes, we said no homo first, and we were making gay jokes the entire time. Edit 2. We weren't wearing socks because we were trying to disperse body heat throughout the sleeping bag, because we didn't have loose socks and it would restrict circulation, especially with us not moving around, and we were always told to not wear socks while camping in the cold here if you're in a sleeping bag, because your feet will sweat and they'll get even colder, similar to not wearing a coat while hiking in the cold here. Better to be a little cold than a little too warm because of sweat. Broke back cabin? Broke gas cabin. Probably jacking off with a friend to see who could come first when we were in like middle school. Little did we know that it was definitely not heterosexual, and coming first would later be looked at as a bad thing. Lol. Edit. I normally hate the people who edit comments and thank people for awards, but holy shit. I woke up to 13k upvotes and 5 awards for this. What the actual hell? Thank you, ahaha. It seems like a lot of commenters did this as well, so Therese that. To answer the most popular question I saw though. I won. Not sure if that's a good or a bad thing though. Nothing wrong with a friendly speedrunning competition. Had a threesome and ended up liking the girl better. A threesome with a couple was how I finally confirmed I was gay. A threesome was how I confirmed I am not at all gay. Edit, please don't make my straightness my most upvoted comment. Lol. That awkward moment when your balls touch. My best friend was sad. His boyfriend of a number of years cheated on him, and so my friend dumped him. He was most upset. He had booked a trip for a bear cub retreat in northern CA. It had been a year or so since we had actually seen each other, so I suggested he go and I would come up and we could spend some time together and go wine tasting. And that's what happened. But the night I showed up was the bear cub ball. So I was his date. We grew up together, it was strictly platonic. Hess more my brother, but I learned that night him considered a bear. We came in second place in the ball. So much back hair. Rip pool drain. We laugh about it still and I love him very much. He met another man that weekend and they celebrated their 5th anniversary last Pi Day. Lol. As a straight guy from the area, Lazy Bear weekend is a hoot. Obviously I've only been when invited by my gay friends, but it is a good time. Got my buddy laid there one time, I'm a good wing man. Tried to crank it to gay porn just to check. Didn't work, but I didn't know about incog mode or clearing history, so that was a fun talk with my parents. Young me was an idiot. Wait, they didn't bring up the porn until they noticed it was gay? It's okay honey, just 2 chicks today. I'll keep an eye tomorrow. We noticed your sexual interest is starting to wander. Please sit down, son. You know when porn just cuts to the dude's balls. And then you. Honestly, sometimes I'm just like whatever, duck it, I don't even care. When jerking it takes on a weirdly nihilistic vibe. I watched an episode of Glee once. I also like to dildo my ass, but I led with the strong argument. Edit, slow clap figures. My most upvoted comment is about me sticking a dildo up my ass. I was in basic training. The showers in basic were just this square room with shower heads all around the outside, and a small, 4 feet, opening on the end to go in and out. Well, in basic training, they tend to hurry you up a little bit whenever you do anything. In a rush to get out, I side shuffled face to face with this other guy that was coming in through that opening. Somehow, our dicks contacted damn near at the base, and slid alongside each other, like a cool handshake or something. We looked into each other's eyes, and he said, "We will never speak of this." And I said, "Yep." And now you spoke of it. Edit, y'all should go to law school. He broke the bro code.